Okay, let's see. Let's open good old GIMP. Let's make sure that I have this all set up, shall we? Where are you? I think this is it. Alright, yeah, there we go. Alright, so, let's do this. Oh god, why are we laggy? Mesmer's Purge. Let's put that here, right? Let's also... just to showcase how things are changing. So we want to move this up here. Let's underline it to show what's new, right? Make that all straightforward for us. Horaloo becomes Godfrey. Alright, so what we want to do is X this out here. This is fine. There we go. So we want to change this then to Destined, Death, Sealing, or Destined, Death, Sealed. Let's call it Sealing of Destined Death. Alright. And then... well, this thing's already very long, but it's fine. Yeah, we'll just X out Americas and just change it here. I don't think I need to move anything for now. But yeah, let's underline this. There we go. So that's all. That's all sorted. Hey, Tyrone, how you doing? There we go. So, Sealing of Destined Death. So I'm going to probably have to change some of this stuff about. So, yeah, banishment to the penal colonies. The Godskin / Serpent Rebellion. We got Longmar. Yeah, okay, so everything looks more or less in order here. I don't think I'm forgetting anything major. At least not from this section. Okay. Okay. So we're just gonna do that, minimize you, and then get to the fun part. Where we run around like idiots. Yeah, it's nighttime, I wanna... let's fix that. How we doing, everybody in chat? There we go. Yeah, that's definitely better. Can't wait to go crazy trying to figure out Miyazaki's vague lore. Only found out years from now he made a Godoflaw as a gag. Well, so far, it hasn't been a gag with him, so... Probabilities, right? Probabilities, but you never know. Guy could always decide he just wanted to do a funny, and Martin was in on the joke. Yeah, I think this is fair. I'll go over there later. I won't worry about that right now. Grass is so weird in the DLC. What do you mean by that, Saint Meme? What's so weird about grass? Let's see. Oh. How it's rendered, I don't know. I see. Ah! Well, I already got the shot I wanted, so, like, whatever. Oh. Huh. I guess. Hard to kind of tell from this angle, if I'm being honest. I mean, I guess there's kind of sort of rock there? Not really. Oh, no, there is. It's just kind of hidden underneath the rock. Let's see. Hey, look, I have a question. Does the JP text for the Kari and filigree crest clarify if there's ever been more than one officially recognized Karian princess at a time? Hey, what's up, Lucky Bro? Hey, no, Bray. Okay, you got the text here. YouTube auto-remove the space in the JP text up there, sorry. Let's see. If I recall correctly, let me just see what I got here. Well, family, yeah. So yeah, even among the Karian knights, only given to the princess. In the princess of the current age is one, Rani, the daughter of Renala. Rolana, Renala. I swear I keep getting those names mixed up, even though, you know, they're quite clearly different. My brain, though, they're just too similar in my head. But reading the text there, yeah, the implication is definitely there that there were multiple princesses. At one time, I'd have to get back to you on that, because that's more of like a... I wouldn't say that's necessarily in the realm of, like, linguists here. Because, like, it says how, basically, the princess, or it's really saying there's one, princess in the current age, which would imply that there are, potentially multiple in the past versus the present. But I suppose you could also interpret it as just being, there's one in the current age, and there might have been also one in the past age, right? So it's like, it's not so strict in that sense, but there's definitely nothing where it's like, okay, you have to have, just to throw it out there, you know, it's Ronnie now, but before it was Ronnie and Rolana per se, right? It's vague in that area. I hope that, again, I'm not sure if that's very clarifying, but like, it does imply there were more than one Karian princesses, but if we're talking about, like, in terms of, the one Karian princess that exists now, namely Ronnie, was, not alone in the past, that's a little more vague. I wouldn't say it necessarily confirms it one way or the other. Also, again, as I've said in the past, please keep... Again, I know it's just you posting text or whatever to ask, but just, again, for guys who are here, please, again, generally keep things in the language of English. So that way everyone understands each other in this, and if there's ever any problems, everyone can clearly see what was the offending comment. The question is mainly if there were 2 or more Karian princesses at a time. Thanks. Yeah. I would say, based on the way it's worded, it would imply there were 2 or more in the past, or there were probably more, because otherwise the text is just weird. Like, the statement sort of implies that if there's one of the current age, that there must have been more in the past. Again, now whether they all exist at the same time, that's always where it's more of like, oh. That's where I think it would get, like, it's very hard to say, right? Like, I'd have to, that's something where I'd be like, okay, well, it depends on the broader context there. Because I just don't think the language itself, can clarify that. I think it's very much based on context. Hey, Nicolino. I've been in the dock and can finally return to your round table of wisdom. What do you mean, beat in the dock? What's the dock? What dock? Which dock? Which doctor are we talking about? Am I confused? Did I miss something? Did I forget? I mean, I usually forget things, but... Hey, howdy, Xavier. Good to see you. Really? Really? We're back here? Okay, I'm gonna reset this stuff. Oh, the DLC he's trying to say. Okay, okay. I, like, read dock. I'm like, wait. What dock? What dock? What dock? I'm so confused. Are we talking about Dead by Daylight? Did you beat the doctor? What? DLC. There we go. Okay. I'm like, it's been a while since we did DVD on there. It can't be that. Yeah, autocorrect. Goddamn autocorrect. It's racist against gamers. No, but congrats. I'm glad you were able to beat it. I would not wish that final boss on anyone, not even my worst enemy. Let's see, damn. I think I just need to get up here, and it'll definitely load everything I care about. This is the problem with times 5 speed chat. When it comes to these very, very precise jumping areas, it's like, oh god, if I accidentally overshoot this. They're eating themselves. Uh-huh. 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 The torch on the wall next to the heist building kind of looked like the fires in the Shadowkeep boats. Was that just due to time spice? I have no idea. We'll look at the flames in a second, but time spice speed can make it hard to identify things. That's for sure. These uniquely have glowing red eyes. Well, I can imagine why, because they're the only ones I recall that are eating themselves. Like, man, you really want to be with mommy, huh? Not a dead guy, Night Scout. He's, this guy's alive. He's gonna stand up as soon as we go over there, like many of the others do. They're not dead. It's like when it's like in Bloodborne, when the crows with dog heads are eating the dogs with crow heads, right? Yeah, like, they look like they're, like, you know, they look like they're dead, but then they'll get up and they'll attack you like everything else. So they're not dead. Listen, everyone at some point in their life wants to have a little nibble of their homies, okay? It's nothing that unusual. Sometimes you just want to take a tiny bite, right? What is a morsel of flesh among friends? Everyone that needs and deserves their pound of flesh, right? Anyway, for the stuff I saw at Midras Manse, there's fingerprint burns on the floor of the boss room. You can see more of the egg holder things in the stairway behind the movable bookcase. Oh, is that so? I'll be honest, I'm not sold on this one. Alright, I'll give it a second. Let's see what we... No. This one, though... Maybe. I think maybe if I give it a second... Guy's just going through the sleeping animation that the other guys do, yeah. Damn. I double-clicked and it didn't register. Goddamn game. Oh, really? You're gonna rain on me now? I fucking hate this game sometimes, you know? This is why I hate the game sometimes, chat. It does bullshit like this. Guys, like, I'm going to commune with the formless mother. Now, go to the person on your right side and start chowing away. Don't worry, it's just going to hurt a little bit. We're gonna be here for a while. Hey, we'll check out the Midras room in a sec. I just gotta wait for this stupid rain to pass! So, how's life, chat? We're gonna be here for a while at this rate. There we go, I just didn't want the skull in the way. Or maybe... maybe I can get away with this. It got harder, by the way. The rain came down harder. Do I settle for a range shot? I'm never settling for a range shot, but I don't want to reset everything and then go back climbing. So I'm going to pray that this rain will pass before we hit nighttime. Someone noted that the Deo finger runes have gold lines while the Rhea finger runes have blue lines. They theorized that Meter landed at Rhea and Elden Beast landed at Deo. The problem is I don't understand why the Elden Beast landing at Deo would mean that there are fingerprint ruins there then. It's an interesting idea, right? Because it's true. You do have the gold lines at one and then the blue lines at the other, which is interesting in and of itself, right? So there's obvious some association with the Elden Ring there. But is it strictly because of the fingers there? Was it because the Elden Ring was brought there? Like, I do have my questions. There we go. Get that angle just right. I think this is fair. Alright. I'm gonna give you one more chance, buddy. That could work. Nah, I can't get any better. Alright. I tried, chat. There we go. Perfect. Fingers building holy sites around them. That's true. There's also, like, you know, the ruins are, well, ruins. There's actually, like, you know, some sort of constructs around them. So there is a question of... Yeah, I know. I see buddies. There is a question of, who's responsible for constructing those? Now, honestly, it could be anyone, depending on how relevant the finger ruins are to, like, the history. Like, it could be some ancient peoples we'll never know about that first found those ruins and dug them, and, you know, built the things there, because, or maybe even the horns and stuff. Because it's possible that the ruins that we explore were being studied, like, you know, all throughout history by different peoples, and not all necessarily, you know, becoming part of, like, you know, like an Elden Ring-centered civilization or something, or, you know, just a general thing. Meter takes extra damage from gravity weapons while Elden Beast doesn't. Ooh, is that true? Is that mentioned in, like, a guidebook or something, or has someone actually done, like, a comparison? Because that would be... Oh my god. Okay, this one I don't mind. This one I don't mind doing the reset. Chat, this is driving me up a wall. We're gonna need to take a shot of our good old friend. Come on, why is it still raining? Why does this place have Liurnia weather? I know we're on, like, the west side, but come on! And now it's foggy. It really is Liurnia weather. What the fuck, man? What did I do to deserve this shit? You know, I talked about how I'd fall in hilarious fashion to my death when I was tweeting out today. I'm not going to use the new name. But honestly, I think I just might go crazy from this stupid weather instead. Why? You were fine at the beginning of the stream. Eater with Bastard Stars did decent damage against her, so you assume it works. So, did you try it with another weapon though, that would like otherwise do similar damage, and it was significantly less or something? Like, because it being like, well, Bastard Star does a lot of damage. Well, okay, well, is that because like was it well upgraded, right? Like, it could just be because you're high level or something. Like, I just don't know the factors. Your destined death is by falling to madness due to Liurnia weather. Yep. Yep. Starter's greatswords indeed do the most bonus gravity damage. I still haven't seen a source on Meter's weakness other than Fextra, though. It is Fextra, so can't be too sure. But again, I would love if someone has like a guidebook or something they can cite for that. Actually, has there been a guidebook for the DLC yet? I have to imagine yes, right? Wasn't there something from Future Press or something? There's nothing special about this statue versus the other ones, right? I think it's the same all around. I used the meteoric orb blade on the Alabaster Lord at Rhea Lucaria. He got screwed up. He got effed up. I have a pre-ordered digital guidebook, although it practically has nothing. Of course, naturally. No scientific process, unfortunately. All I can say is that a wiki said it works. I was doing decent damage against Falling Star Beast as well. But does that mean that it's, does that mean that gravity weapons are generally effective against, quote-unquote, you know, star enemies, right? Or I should say falling star enemies, you know, outside, I guess you're excluding Elden Beast, of course. But, yes, okay. So, basically, Meter has a similar damage weakness that other enemies of her quote-unquote type have had. Okay. I guess that makes sense with the idea of, like, of falling stars having a natural, stronger attractiveness that you can take advantage of with gravity magic, I suppose? I suppose that's theoretically possible. Yeah, getting these things at times 5 speed has always been a pain. We'd have to slow it down. I don't want to do that right now, so let's move on. Oh god, I forgot. Do I have to go up or down? I think I have to go down. Yeah, I think I went the wrong way, damn. Unless... Alright, so I'm actually gonna reset this, and we're gonna try to go the lower route. I love these giant sheep. They do look very fluffy, don't they? Hey, Ray! If I recall correctly, Zion describes the stone finger runes as having grown. I guess that doesn't explain the origin of the finger horns. They, you just sound for the Ymir, the origin of the finger horns, and that you sound for the Ymir quest / talismans. I assume there's an extra word there, and you're just saying the finger horns, and... Oh, that you sound as in, like, you know, you blow into... Okay. Alrighty. I have to double check the items for that then, because it could be talking about the area and the idea that the area has grown. Because we do see stuff in the area that's definitely, you know, like the actual fingers and things could have grown, but the actual what we're talking about is not this specifically, right? I'd be talking about like the wall, the flat wall of stones with like fingerprint kind of swirly artistic designs here, and then like you said, the horns in the very center, which is I assume what, you know, actually makes the ruins, you know, the ruins. Okay, so I have to stick to my right. Right? Move. Stupid rat. There we go. Before the rain comes back. I forgot there was a shack here. Oh, it's the artist shack too. Yeah, okay. I totally forgot this was a thing. I feel like I've been there, but I don't remember. I do not remember. Wandering artist is like, oh, look at this, a burned down shack. I'll just move in. I mean, give the guy credit. He's, He really loves his job. Just going around drawing pictures of death and all that. Could the gold of the finger ruins of Dio be due to proximity to Shaman Village? It's possible, but it depends on, like, the exact nature of the Shaman Village, right? Like is the Shaman Village the type of thing that would have, gold associated with it? Would it have things related to the Elden Ring and stuff? Because we see that so strongly associated with Hornsent culture, and I still don't know where exactly they got their Elden Ring from. I would presume from the ruins of Raoul, right? But maybe not. Maybe not. Alright, so just, there we go. Alright. Yeah, I like this one. There we go. I mean, like, do the Tree of Miracle America throw there before leaving? Gold began spreading to the area. The thing is, Nobre, by all indications, America did that, like, around the time of Mesmer's Purge. And if that's the case, then it's quite possible, it would be long after the village was already, you know, dead and gone, like, for who knows how long. So, I don't think the gold that she's planting there would have any effect on the finger ruins. I would think if the finger ruins are so permeated by gold, like we see, it would have to be something deeper. Either because Marika's fingers came from there, and she was doing stuff with the Elden Ring there, or like you said, the Shaman Village itself had the Elden Ring, or some piece of it or something, and they were doing, or Marika, or them in general, were doing something in the entire zone. So yeah. I'm staying away from ER content to avoid spoilers, so I don't know what your opinion is on the lore revelations. Can you shortly share your opinion on those things? Are you satisfied, unhappy, etc.? I'd say I'm pretty satisfied with everything up until the final boss. I was very disappointed by the final boss. I called it very early on because the game does a good job of actually, you know, building up and foreshadowing it, right? But it's kind of a again, despite all that, I would say it's lame. It's all lame. It's lame. It's lame as a boss fight. It's lame as a story, you know, climax, right? It feels like this should have been a this should have been one of the side quests you would do in the base game related to the demigods, like Moog or Renala or something. It should have been like the centerpiece of an entire DLC main storyline. I feel like if Mesmer was the final boss and they somehow worked that in, it would be better. But like I was never expecting Mesmer to be the final boss, so that was just not going to happen, right? But like I wish they would have. How do I put this? I wish we would have gotten something a little more interesting on that front regarding Mikola if we really had to pursue the idea that Mikola in some form had to be the final boss. I would prefer to Mikola and Trina fight, for instance. But overall, I'm very happy with the DLC and the lore we got from it. I think it's been a treat to... Okay, so it's around here. I think it's been a treat to actually go through this map and everything. My only complaint with the map in general is that I think it's too big, which again, I think this goes to the idea of the DLC. I get the idea that a lot of this DLC was planned to be smaller, right? Like, there were all these ideas and stuff that Miyazaki and FromSoft or whatever had floating in their heads because of the, you know, all the stuff that Martin had, right? But not a lot of it could fit because of this whole Land of Shadow going in here. So if this was, like, say, it's kind of like the Ulasil quest, how it got cut from the main game, but then it came back when Dark Souls got greenlit for having DLC, which Miyazaki wasn't originally planning for. It's the same thing here, but Miyazaki knew they would have DLC in advance, right? So he's setting stuff aside and things. So I think what happened was, they knew there was this Land of Shadow thing. They couldn't find a good reason or justification or whatever to make you be able to go to the Land of Shadow or what have you, right? And with everything else that they had to develop at the time to make, you know, a cohesive main story, they just kind of put on the cutting room floor to be shoved into DLC in the future. But then when they got to the DLC, as we know, stuff rearranged. There were plans for, like, 3 DLCs, but then, like, stuff got moved around. Like, the arena thing became, like, its own little mini, update thing, and then all the DLC resources went into this one big DLC. Kind of like what happened with Bloodborne and its 2 DLCs becoming one with the Hunter's Nightmare and the Fishing Hamlet and all that in one pet thing. What I think happened was, during development, they probably got, you know, because they had all these resources and time to now work on this very relatively small amount of content, they went, like, balls to the wall and went crazy with trying to make it this big, expansive map, even though it doesn't really fit in with the base game map when you try to actually, you know, put them together or whatever, which, again, I'm fine with the creative license there, just kind of just saying how it is. And then I think, as a result of that, because they didn't have as much content to fill, it makes the map feel kind of emptier compared to the base game. There's so many times you explore up someplace, and you're like, well, that was pointless. Whereas in the base game, they'd be like, oh, there's something there, I got something, right? And then I would complain how it's an arterial leaf, but it was something! It was something to kind of justify your time going over and around and all that stuff. That's not as much of that in here. There's just a lot more, you know, negative space here. Oh, look, actual stuff I did miss, though. Great arrow. Filling stone. And is that a blood dog? That is indeed a blood dog. True. Yeah, so those are my, like, those would be my major criticisms of the DLC. Is that, again, I think the direction they went with Mikola was kind of lame, especially for the final boss. And I think that the way that the map and everything was designed, it's fun to explore, but it kind of feels barren compared to the base game. The base game had, like, the perfect, like you could, like, literally it felt like almost, like, clinical how well they were able to handle the exploration there and the reward scenario. But in this one, it just feels a little off. But again, those are my biggest complaints. I think that's pretty good, right? I'm sick of dragons in video games. I blame that on Skyrim. Well, let's be honest. Fantasy has always had dragons, so... Dragon stuff was my favorite. Yeah, I agree. I think the dragon stuff in the lore specifically was my favorite addition/revelation. And I think my reaction to it speaks volumes of how I feel about that versus a lot of the other stuff we got in the lore. Like, a lot of the other stuff, I'm like, oh, that's cool. Oh, that reinforces, like... I think the only thing that I even got a similar reaction to was seeing all the Banished Knight armor. But it got distracted because Gaius was in that fight. So it kind of, like, you know, it kind of put a damper on things. Thank you for sharing your thoughts. I agree with most of it. I just try to justify Radon in my head still. Listen, I'm sure all of it was part of the lore from the start, right? Like, I 100% believe that if we ever got Martin's notes, it would totally talk about that scenario of Radon and Nicola going around and having their little promise thing. I would bet you 1,000,000% that's probably in there. But it doesn't change the fact that, yeah, it's kind of lame. Well, what we got in the actual main storyline, it's like, oh, Radon, you forgot your promise. You gotta, you know, actually fulfill it now. So we're gonna make sure you die. Like, again, is all of that there in the main game? Sure. But it's like, wow, really? Because Nicola decided he wanted to be a little yandere? It's like, okay. Okay. Whatever you say. Yeah, I like that. So yeah, George, could the Godskins be a product of Mesmer and Melina? Okay, actually, since more people are in here, I was actually doing this at the start of the stream. I was editing up my my GIMP timeline thing. Because I think I made a breakthrough that helped me sort of rationalize. Because I've tried it before, chat. I saw it somewhere. I don't know if it was like on the Twitters, if it was on a JP website or something. But I remember seeing distinctly that it was talked about how basically saying that the Golden Order came with the creation of the Erd Tree, right? Essentially, like, both of them came in conjunction with one another, which was creating lots of, like, problems in my head after the DLC came out, and I saw nothing else that really, like, majorly affected the timeline for me. Like, all the major events as I had them were there. I just had a lot of, like, new details or little details that have to get changed and stuff like that. Like, you know, just normal things are going to update, right? Like, it is what it is, right? I was very confused. So, let me bring this up for you guys now. Where are you? There we go. Alright. So see all this stuff here? So after the DLC, and as of today, this is where I stand. I think first Erd Tree seed sown. I put the seed sown, like, at the very end when it's like, okay, now the Crucible has gone fully kaput. Now I'm moving that to the top of here, right? As, like, one of the first signs of the Crucible going kaput. So basically, as soon as the Crucible first was starting to lose its... oh, oopsie, I dropped the controller, my bad. Anyway, as soon as the Crucible was first starting to lose some of that overwhelming life energy that gave the Age of Plenty its plentifulness, that's when the seeds were sown. Kind of like how as soon as the Elden Ring was shattered and the Erd Tree released seeds a second time, right? Because now it's feeling like it's dying again, right? But it's dying over a period of time that we don't know how long it would take anyway for the case of the Erd Tree normally. But in case of the Crucible, it was some period of time, and it seems like the seeds were, like, sort of the first sign of it. Which is fine. That rearranges a few events, right? Like, you could say America's Minor Erd Tree Church now goes a little earlier and stuff, probably before Mesmer's Purge, which I'm actually okay with, because I've talked about it before. The possibility of... let's go back. It's gonna be really weird because of being in the game now, but let's do that. Let's go back to Minor Erd Tree Church. Because now, with the Minor Erd Tree Church here, there's always this question I had about when exactly Glow-Might Queen becomes the Melina we know and stuff like that, right? Like, is this supposed to be, like, Melina was created or whatever? But if we're supposed to believe that as soon as the Glow-Might Queen was dealt with, the Erd Tree seeds were sown because the Crucible was truly dead and stuff, or I should say was on the road to death and stuff, then it makes sense that when America's first studying it, she's also erecting a grave with the smoldering butterflies, which are so heavily associated with Melina, and thus this is supposed to be a grave dedicated to her daughter. So that all now makes sense to me if we move that stuff earlier in the timeline. So I've got no problem with that. NPC stuff was personally one of my favorite bits of the DLC. Yeah, I can see a lot of people really liking the DLC stuff. I actually kind of like the negative space. I'm more disappointed with the NPCs. Too short, not enough interactions. And then when you get to know them, they're already turned against you. Hope for more. I can see that, but I feel like it's just the same old stuff we always get with the NPCs and stuff. I can see that, though. I could see someone being like, you know what, I wish there was, like, maybe 1 or 2 extra conversation interactions, right? Because I think with Siegmeyer, there was, like, slightly more with that, but I didn't think that was a big deal, right? Because I'll be honest, chat, I usually don't care about the NPCs and their storylines and stuff. I find them, kind of, you experience them as you go. They're nice to have, but they're not, like, the end-all, be-all for me when it comes to this game. So let's see. I think the DLC needed to do a bit more to emphasize how much Mikkel lost hope. It was just ruining anything that could make him stronger. I don't think the DLC needed to emphasize that because it's all in the base game, right? I think the problem is, again, this is what I've said before. Like a lot of people were I'm sure I've heard, on the grapevine and stuff, how people are disappointed there wasn't more with Godwin and stuff. I'm like, that was never gonna happen, right? We got so much with Godwin and the Lows Who Live in Death in the base game. Like there wasn't that much to elaborate upon on it. And if there are any mysteries, they're probably mysteries we could solve using just the base game for the most part, right? So it's like, we got a little bit of stuff, but, like, obviously nothing major, because I don't think it needed to be. And it's just how I feel about a lot of stuff that's from the base game. Like, like I said, I was very surprised in the end, because I was expecting, with how big Elden Ring is, there would be something I missed that the DLC would completely throw out of whack. But as we can see here, looking at the thing here, this isn't much. It's mostly like, okay, I gotta move this, like, a little earlier, like, it's relatively minor. Like I said, Mesmer's Purge gets added, like, whole new event with the DLC. That's pretty, par for the course, and it's kind of out of the way compared to everything else, right? And then this is the important thing. I'm removing Marika becomes Eternal Queen, and just calling it the Sealing of Destined Death. And the reason I'm doing that is because I now believe... Let me cut this here. I now believe that the removal of Destined Death... Marika becomes Eternal Queen. Anyway, so I believe the removal of Destined Death and the actual sealing of Destined Death are 2 separate events. I think this is how to rationalize it. So, to clarify here, I think Marika removed the Rune of Death from the Elden Ring at the time that she created the Erd Tree, the Golden Tree, right? With the gold and shadow and all that and everything, right? So when the Erd Tree was created, she had removed Destined Death. But she did not have it sealed inside Malekith until Melina, her daughter, born probably as, like, Mesmer's twin or, sister or whatever, probably born, like, pretty close to each other, right? When they were born, they each had a vision of fire. And Melina's vision of fire ends up being, like, Destined Death stuff. So I think what happened was, Melina took the Destined Death that Marika had somewhere, right? Maybe she had it, like, informally sealed in, like, some, like, vault or something or whatever, right? But I think Melina took that rune and then used it with the greatsword that, the Godslayer's greatsword that she has and all that, right? And then she used that in order to, create the Black Flame and use it for the purposes of the Godskin Apostles and all that, right? And then, as we know, during the God Hunts, Malekith defeats the Apostles and their Glowmite Queen and seals Destined Death within his sword. So I think that is how all that played out. Because then it would explain how we get the Golden Order and its age of life with the idea of Marika as this Eternal Queen, right? But then the sealing of the Destined Death happens later. Because that's the only way I can have it, where we have... Because this... If these two events are very clearly connected, this is much more ambiguous on if these two are connected. And I think the idea of removing Destined Death and the sealing of Destined Death as being something that is obviously related but completely separate is the best way to go about this. So that's where I stand on that. Yeah, Godwin's permadead, yeah, so again, it's just there were lore problems with it, so a lot of people, like, if they want it to happen just because, you know, it'd be cool if they saw it, that'd be nice, right? But like, if I saw Godwin in the DLC, it would have had to been like some kind of illusion or puppet or some sort of like duplicate that's trying to replicate Godwin. It wouldn't be actually Godwin, would be how it would work. So Marika would first plant the Crucible, and after Melena's death quest, Marika planted the Erdtree seeds. No. I'm not saying that there were seeds that were planted. What I'm saying is, because the Crucible is the Erdtree, right? So this has always been the case, right? The Crucible is the Erdtree. It's the original Erdtree, right? The original form of the Erdtree. But what happens is that Melina goes... Well, essentially what we seem to have is... That creates the Golden Order as we know it. But the Golden Order was originally this Age of Plenty. But that was quote-unquote short... And that seems to be because after the Godskin / Serpent Rebellion stuff, all that happened, we have the Sealing of Destined Death. And that Sealing of Destined Death seems to be somehow revolved into the Crucible thing. Now, maybe there's more going on there. Maybe, I don't know, the Crucible got burned and it became the Erdtree proper as we know it after so much time, right? But basically, whatever happened during these events here is what led to all of this. Right? The Age of Plenty ending. It led to the Erdtree seeds being sown, Mesmer being sent into the Realm of Shadow to conduct a purge and all that, and like probably the entire continent being plunged into the Realm of Shadow along with it, but that's a little up in the air there. I'm more willing to hear different words to it. Then the Omen Curse happens as a reaction to that. And then finally, the Age of Plenty, as we know it properly, ends around the time that we got like Morgott and Moog and stuff being thrown into the sewers, right? Like we see with the with their seals, right? With this symbol. And then Marika beginning researching Order, like I said, that could also be moved up here with the seed zones, right? Earlier with the Mesmer's Purge and things as well. But this one, again, I want to look into a little more before I decide to play around with it. But yeah, that would be how I would like try to get the Golden Order. The Golden Order existing, but the stuff with Melina having to happen later. Bring Godwin back could work with time travel shenanigans. That's exactly unheard of in Souls DLCs. Yeah, but the problem is, I don't know if it's possible in Elden Ring specifically, because I don't think we see anything that's too time travel-y outside of Placky existing between or I think it was beyond time, right? And being able to, like, you know, put back together pieces of Farum Azula, you know, with the whirlwind stuff, which is like, okay, like that's putting a place back together. It's not like, you know, going back into the period of which where all the people and stuff were at that specific time period when it was back together or something, right? Yeah, beyond, okay. Loki, do you remember the weird statue pedestals at the tower that had a mini staircase wrapping around it? I think I figured out why it's like that. I assume it was for preaching, but sure, lay it on me. That's what I was going with, because it looks like stuff you see in various churches and stuff where they, like, they go up to preach from on high. So, like, that's what I was assuming they were about, but feel free to throw your idea at me. Excuse me, game? There we go. Controller was apparently left idle too long, right? Yeah, okay, nothing here that we want to look at. Let's go back to our favorite place. I got shots at this church, so we're good. Let's go to Midra's place. No, that's the church ruins. Actually, you know what? I want to look. Where is it? I want to look at the church and compare the church ruins to Midra's church ruins, right? Sorry, you know, the Midra church ruins to the church ruins we have here with Mesmer stuff. I want to see if they actually just reuse the model or if I'm forgetting stuff. What's happening here? There we go. I wonder if there's a battery thing. Oh, yeah, I think it is. Yeah, I think there is. I was wondering, okay, if there would be battery issues with this controller. Let me plug this in. There we go. There we go. Perfect. Okay. Oh, wait. Wait. 1 sec. Gotta move it. That's gonna affect audio. There we go. Oh god, it's still affecting audio. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh no. Chat, you seeing this? Okay, I think I know how to fix it though. 1 sec. I think I just have to disable. I think it's considering the controller a sound thing. Nope. Okay, well it's working now, so it's fine. Loki, the tech mage. I wish I was a tech mage. I definitely think tech is magic. Okay, but now I'm gonna have to just remember I have to plug this controller in now in the future and have it charge like it would anywhere else. There we go. There we go. No! Trying to get this to work now. Oh no. Oh no! Not going to plan at all, chat. Alright, gonna unplug this, do this. There we go. There we go. There we go. It lives! It lives! I think it lives. No, it does not live. Damn. 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 Yeah, darn it. Ah! I hate it when this happens. Let's just do this. There we go. Anyway, so as I was saying. No, but yeah, so I think this is how I'm going to have to organize the timeline. Tech god. Oh no, you're talking about your own. I was about to say, if you were gonna start calling me tech god sarcastically, that would be appropriate. It references the tower winding up and the pathway to the divine gate is what I came up with, since what I interpret as a god and lord is on top of it. Yeah, that could work. That could totally work, Xavier. I would agree with that. That's a good way to interpret it. The problem I have is that, at least the way I remember seeing it, is that the staircase kind of stops in a way that would let people kind of looks like a preacher's kind of pulpit almost type thing. But I think with how small it is, right? And how we see it being, like, you know, used obviously not necessarily for that function. I think how you're putting it could work too. This idea of, like, you know, trying to reach godhood and lordhood and whatever, what have you. All right, so let's do this. Where is it? Where is... There we go. There's the launcher. Yeah. Have you heard of Gideon's Elden King's podcast theory? Gideon's theory that Midra and Nanaya are Marika's parents. I find that idea fascinating. It's interesting. It begs a lot of questions, though, because again, Midra's supposed to be this big sage, and Nanaya seems to come out of nowhere. So, do we even know that they were together for a while? Like, if the idea is that they gave birth to Marika, how did she end up at the shaman village, right? So I have questions. Hearing that theory? Oh god. There we go. Alright. Alright. Well, it's working, chat. It's now working. Okay. Let me, let's put something else on for the BGM while we, sure. There we go. God, look at all these spare characters. Shinky, Corey, what beautiful names. You say that, but some of these are, in fact, beautiful joke names that I'm very proud of. The only connection I see is the flowers and the painting. I agree with you. That would be probably the best way to connect them both. But then it becomes this weird thing because you'd be like, okay, are they connected on that front, or is it for some other reason? Like, say America shows up, or maybe one of the shamans show up there for whatever reason later on, and then they start studying the fingers because they're interested in the 3 fingers or whatever. I don't know. He made a video essay about it where he elaborates the idea. Worth a watch? Yeah, sure. Again, like I said, Elden Ring's not like my biggest. I've said this before, but like it's not like my hugest like. What is it? Like my priority right now? I want to get back to Dark Souls and Bloodborne and stuff, so I'm starting back by working on School of Mensis. You know, I want to come back in a big way. So I think that's going to be a great way to. Oh God. Hello? Oh my gosh. Alright, chat. Gonna unplug all this. Like I said, I'm gonna have to do this off screen. If not, we're gonna switch gears. Come on. Come on. There. Oh my God, no. Oh my God, it's not working. Nana is an evil frenzy shaman is my theory. Now that could work. Just starting or new game plus? Neither, Jabul. This is just me going around getting screenshots, or it was until my controller died. Now I know I gotta charge this thing in advance, even with the Bluetooth thing. How might the current timeline idea mesh with the rolled finger reader saying that unsealing the Rune of Death would kill the world? She know of a time it was unsealed and the world was alive? I wouldn't necessarily say that was. It could be an assumption on her part, but I'd have to see the exact language. Question about Omen Curse happening after the Purge. What about the Omen Killer in the Fort of Reprimand? Do you think they fought against Hornset and after the Purge started hunting Omens? There's 2 ways to interpret this. Either A, the Omen Killers, because we don't, again, it's not like we have any items, we don't get any new items or something from these Omen Killers in the DLC, to clarify. Either A, these Omen Killers are separate / predecessors to what we see with the Omen Killers in the base game, which would be established by, what was this? Whatever that one perfumer's name was, right? So the idea would be you have perfumers who were, helping fight off the Hornset, and eventually they become the Omen Killers that we see in that game. Obviously, they're not Omen Killers in this case, they're Hornset Killers. And then you have an independent Omen Killer that gets established in the base game after the Omen incident, right? 2 would be an idea that because there seems to still be the ability for travel to the realm of shadow, like we see with, like, for example, several Redmanes, like Gaius and stuff, seem to get there later on in the timeline. Rolana also has to join in, like, essentially a little later on and things like that. All that being granted, it seems like it seems like you could argue that some of those Omen Killers decide they want to keep slaying Omen, and because the Omen have been, at least at the time, mostly exterminated from society, right? Like, you'd have to go down the sewers if you want to kill more of them, right? Like, basically. And royals probably aren't going to be, like, officially sanctioning that, because that's how they're trying to save their kids. Then, in that case, I can definitely see an argument for they came into they came into the Land of Shadow to kind of continue hunting down the Omens, and, that worked out. Rolo, thank you, Night Scout. Oh yeah, this isn't working. Unfortunate. And I'm not playing this game on PC and mouse and keyboard. All right, so I'm gonna X this out one more time. Actually, can I force it to pick my controller? Where is it? No, unfortunately. It does not let me manually try to... Yeah, no, it doesn't let me manually do that. Okay. Unfortunate. Oh my god, how do I get out? Why isn't the escape? Why is it back? God, I hate PC controls. Yeah, why do they exist? Alright, one more time. Anyway, it's kind of strange. I don't think it's that strange. What happens with DLC and stuff is usually they will end up recontextualize something. So like because they're reusing assets and stuff, so there may be like more what's the word? There might be more abstraction that needs to be done based on what we already know in the game, right? So it's like, okay, like these enemies are identical to that one, but like, you know, they technically were developed independently, right? And they just happen to, you know, end up dressing the same because again, reused assets, right? It's about more so reflecting an idea. Again, when you look into these games in Elden Ring, it has to be more about the developers are trying to express ideas to the player, and they're trying to communicate that using the existing game assets. They're not just trying to create a world that's going to be 100% perfectly sensible and cohesive, right? Because inevitably, there's going to be times where gameplay mechanics are going to, you know, interfere with the lore in some aspect, right? Like how you can, how you, like, can kill a boss by just, like, stabbing his toe a couple of times. It's like, okay, well, now he's dead. It's like, man, didn't even need to go for the heart of the head. Or, like, yeah, or, like, stuff like that, right? Like, there's some sort of disconnect where you kind of have to, sort of imagine in your head the ideas that they're trying to convey through it, rather than just trying to look at what's in front of you and then trying to interpret, for itself how those things make sense. Like, in their actuality. There we go. I'm pleasantly surprised the DLC added the guitar sibling, the Pata. Correct me if I'm wrong. And oh my god, okay, yeah. I think I lost battery again, because I lost the... Let's see. Alright, if it dies on me again here, then we're gonna have to switch over to like PS5 and like do some running around in Bloodborne or something. Oh. Before I forget. Make sure that our camera's installed. There we go. Let's also do a higher LOD, because that doesn't cause too many problems in the Land of Shadow. Oh no, it disconnected again, damn. Ah, but it's working. Or at least, oh no. Yeah, damn, sorry chat. Sorry chat, no more Elden Ring today. Ah, wait. No, it's just... Yeah, the battery's just dead. I have to charge the controller. It's just not going to be able to survive. Yeah. That's all I can do. Womp womp. Yeah, womp womp. Yeah, this is Sage. Very Sage. But yeah, there's the Cypher Pata that was in the main game. Yeah, I was like, I could have sworn we had a Pata, but yeah. Okay, when DS2? Never. Never, no, bro. We never go back to that horror show. Metaphysical Pata. No, I get what you're trying to say, Pastor. I was like, I'm pretty sure there has been a Pata, but yeah, I get it. You want to have, you know, an actual weapon, not one that's made of runes. Oh, yeah. Well, let's just enjoy the beautiful scenery as embers fall down, and then I'll switch over to something PS5 for in a sec. But yeah, just again, just since we're stuck in this situation that I've created. Again, this is where. So, like, for example, I'm gonna have to add the perfumers and stuff in the pre-section somewhere, or I'm just gonna add them as their own separate thing. I don't know which is which to do, honestly. Yeah, that's gonna be a little annoying for me whether or not I'm gonna make that a separate analysis or not. But like, it's got to go somewhere now, separate now, because it's clear now that we probably had perfuming priests from the start of Mesmer's Purge, most likely, right? What about Lois, Loki, bro? I'm still gonna do that. And I guess at that juncture, if I feel I don't have enough screenshots for that place from what I already have, we'll go back there, no Bray. But like, I do not want to. Does the JP text for the Haley Tree soldiers as Night Sword coats imply that the Haley Tree failed to become an Erd Tree for a particular reason? Let's actually check that out, because I do not remember Night Scout, and I'm not playing the game right now, so may as well. No, stop it. All right, so let's go check out Haley Tree. Let's see. I'm curious if some JP text for the Haley Tree gear or Gideon's info on Mikola could imply if Moog ruined the Haley Tree, or if in light of the DLC it already failed. Again, I have not done too close a look at anything regarding Mikola and stuff, so it would just be my like surface level impressions of any analysis. But let's see. Haley Tree, Soldier, and Knight Surcoats. Okay, so let's see. Chest armor soldier serving the Holy Tree. The surcoat depicts the crest of the Holy Tree, the holy budding young tree that received Mikola's blood, but it ultimately didn't become a golden tree. The way that it's worded would imply, especially the ultimate part, would suggest that the tree is still there, but what its purpose, if the goal was to make it a Erd tree or whatever, or some equivalent, however you define like the Erd tree as the Erd tree, it has not reached that level. So in that regard, yes, it's a failure. But again, it depends on what you're trying to define as the failure here. If the idea is that it failed at becoming the Erd tree, then yes. It simply didn't become that in the end, ultimately, finally, at last. Like, however you want to, like, you know, whatever synonym you want to use. Random thought, why hotels leave a mini fridge in rooms you pay only to then go and make you pay $40 for a small Pringles? Listen, they want to make sure that they get all of your money, no bray. And if they can get away with making you have to pay extra for food, especially if that food happens to be something that's in the room already, they put a lock or something on the mini fridge or whatever, they're gonna do that. Or if they have some room service, they're like, hey, look at this, we got some stuff with the mini fridge and stuff, and you can put all your own stuff in there, or you can buy our stuff that we have, and you don't have to be bothered to bring all your own stuff, and we'll make sure to overcharge it for you so it even feels like it's some special vintage stuff. Anyway, so it doesn't say it failed on its own efforts per se. No. It simply says that it ultimately didn't become a gold tree. Now, could there be some outside force that is the reason why it didn't become a golden tree of its own? Sure. Could it be that it simply, at its inception, the way it was born, or the nature of it, it wasn't able to become a golden tree no matter what? Sure. Again, this is one of those cases where now it's regards context. I know that Gideon shares the info if you pick the About the Haley Tree Roots option. He says Mikola was kidnapped before he could finish an EN. I'm curious about the JP line. Sure, I think I have that. Holy Tree. Oh, I saw someone talking in JP on Twitter say they thought the heroic strike for the weapon skill of America's Hammer was somehow a pun on Golden Order or something, or at least that's what the Translate tweet button said. I've not looked at the skills very closely, so I would have to look at what term they use to see if there's any pun or anything on the Golden Order. So I'll get back to you on that, Xavier. Hello, Lady Nug. I'm playing Melee right now, but want to switch to Mage because it's OP with Night Common and Common Azure. Is this fine, or is there a consequence of this? I'm level 50. For the base game, Common Azure is Common Lolzer. You will literally run over like 90% of the content, no problem, right? And then every time, believe me, Believe me, it's been a meme on my Let's Play of me just going around using Commodore. In terms of the DLC though, it's they basically nerf it in a way where like yes, you can use it, but it's very much diminished. The way the bosses are designed or the way their HP bars are, for the most part, you're going to have to actually engage with the boss. I know, crazy thought. So like yeah, you can start respecking for Commodore or just respec if you wanna use it to get around a boss you find particularly annoying. But for the most part, I would recommend like sticking to melee build if you want Commodore to carry you the whole game, because it won't. It simply won't. They nerfed it as well, so that way, I'm not even sure if Commodore could work on Moog now. Because I remember Moog requiring, like, very precise timing from me in order to make sure I could get him from 100 to 0 when he does his whole nihil shtick, right, in my damage. I don't know if I could do that now with, the nerf to the infinite mana. I don't know if that could happen. Anyway, let me look for the Gideon thing. Gideon's dialogue, Gideon. No. Ah, wait. Okay, so, is this Gideon's thing? Yeah, okay. I see, okay. Okay, so, the way that Gideon words it is, so, like, he hears what we have to say, and he's like, I see. So the holy tree really was a husk. Mikola tried to lodge himself in the holy tree. Before complete lodging, someone cut open the holy tree and stole the young child. It would seem that those words were true. How troubling. To think the all-knowing Lord can't know this much. Perhaps the Queen's sorrow is quite right. So, it definitely sounds like the idea would be that if it failed to become an Erd tree, it's because Moog cut Mikola out of it. That, like, again, just surface level impression. That's how it would sound to me if I were to combine those two pieces of information. Bloodhound Step got nerfed. I Gurmaned on the bosses with a graveset. Uh-huh. They nerfed that one, huh? That makes sense. 10 for voice acting. Thanks for checking that. Moog probably did mess it up as a surprise. Yeah, I don't know if that was the intention or whatever, but you know, Moog wanted his bride, quote unquote, right? Alright, so I'm gonna close this now. And we're gonna switch over to a game I can actually play. There we go. There's a ghost in the consecrated snowfield who was chasing Moog 2 and demanding Mikola's to return. The guy wouldn't be there if Mikola was charming people for his plans. Do you mean the spirit wouldn't be there if he was charming people for the plan? I suppose. I mean, it depends on, like, you know, it depends on who exactly Mikola's charming. Like, he can't be charming, like, every single person. Like, most of the people there probably just believe in him, right? I imagine. Unless he's doing some, like, mass charming spell that would, like, make entire, like, you know, armies of people be like, yes, Lord Mikola, right? We know that the people he has go into the realm of shadow and stuff seem to have all been charmed. But that also seems to happen... I can't remember if it was after he was kidnapped when it came to Freya. Anyway, one second, chat. I'm gonna switch things off underneath the hood. Alright, let's see if we can get the PS5 to go on without causing problems in the middle of a stream. It looks like it's working. Alright, should be good. Alright, chat, you can see that? Everything should be fine now. Elden Ring! Who cares about Elden Ring? We're a Bloodborne nation now. Charming was probably an emergency play. Oh, you think Moog was charmed? I don't know. I don't think so, honestly, but maybe. I guess. If you want to argue that, because here's the thing. The question would be... Actually, well, I guess the timing... I suppose if you take into account the fact that Moog very conveniently decided he was going to suddenly, you know, go after Mikola at exactly the right time when Melania was away, I suppose then you could say that, yeah, maybe Moog was charmed as part of the plan. I don't know about that. I have to think on that one. Oh, you mean Moog was probably only charmed after the kidnap? Now it's a master plan? Okay. So you think it would be something like Moog comes in when Melania's gone and all that. It's like, okay, Melania left. I'll go in and now take good darling Mikola. Takes darling Mikola. Then Mikola's like, oh, this wasn't part of the plan, unless. And then you're thinking he decides, oh, I can charm a bunch of people to try to help kill Moog. And when Moog is dead, we'll have them take the body into this realm of shadow or whatever, which I'll be going to now because I'm going to be accelerating my plans in other departments. I can see that being the case. Sure. But yeah, the only way I can imagine Moog being charmed is if Mikola was doing stuff, like, while he was, like, you know, planning the Hailing Tree thing. But, like you said, it's just weird to me, because then, like, he's trying to do one thing, but then would let himself, like, get kidnapped by another in the middle and potentially screw things up, so I don't know. You think he could have also done it when they came back? I don't think he did it when they came back. I think it was definitely while the army was away. I can't remember, but I could have swore there was a text that's heavily implied that. But I have to go back and check. Oh nah. How close are we to Arcane 99? Honestly, it's really not that far away. You know what, actually? I said I wanted to check something on another character, and I never got around to it, so let's do that now. Hey, Mercy! Loki, why are there many trees in the dream? Because Miyazaki loves his trees. I'm not sure if you noticed, but he made an entire game about a giant tree. There we go. So another thing I guess that the DLC helps clarify, though, is the fact that there is a well, Mesmer stuff does have to happen later in the timeline, right? We have to have the conflict with the Giants. We have to have a nobility that's established. We have to have a lot of stuff with the Erd Tree and the Age of Plenty and stuff, right? Because one of the things I was thinking before the DLC came out was, okay, well, maybe Mesmer's thing happens, like, at the start or whatever, right? Like, very early on. But, like, from everything that I've seen, it really is one of these later developments. Like I said, specifically seemingly to happen after the Melina stuff, which again makes sense. You know, one sibling with the Vision of Fire ends up betraying Mama. The other one kind of has to prove himself now. It's kind of like, listen, how do I know you're not going to do the same thing, son? Meet me at the Hailing Tree, Moog. I've got an offer you can't refuse. Come alone. That would be so funny. It might hinge on Freya's timeline of events. If Mikola saved her as a projection or after charming his way to some freedom post-kidnapping, the option could be during the war. I think the Freya thing has to happen post-battle with Melania. For sure. But I think Mikola projecting himself there would be while Moog has him kidnapped. Because, again, it would go to the whole idea that he's charming all these people in preparation for this big plan with him in the Realm of Shadow and stuff. So I think it only makes sense if this is something where, like, when he's kidnapped, he's now somehow, some way, is projecting himself around the areas as Trina and having Trina do stuff, right? Oh. Cool. So like, those big trees there are just recurring thing Uncle Mia loves? Yeah, basically. Like, there's no, like, deep lore stuff in Bloodborne that really explains them. Like, the best I've seen is people trying to justify being like, oh, ours is on a giant tree stump thing, so those must be, like, other Hunter's Dream or something on this tree stump. Like that would be, like, the most justifiable lore explanation I could see someone find. The problem is that we don't have anything to suggest there are other Hunter's Dreams or any sort of multiverse timeline shenanigans in Bloodborne. Bloodborne, more so than any of the other games, is quite clearly just one timeline, you know, and that's it. Like, the only way you get past and go to time travel with past and future stuff in Bloodborne is via having dream worlds create simulations of those places, which are essentially duplicate realities, more or less, right? Like, that would be the idea of the dream worlds, right? Like, they're real, but they're, like, real based on data of stuff from the past, right? The soul's past memory, essentially. Nothing there. And Miquella was with Melania at Caelid and charming Freya immediately after the Scarlet Leonia. Then Miquella would have to return to Elphael first. If Miquella was with Melania at Caelid and charming Freya immediately after the Scarlet... Except I don't think Miquella was with Melania at Caelid. I think that what we'd be saying is that after he gets kidnapped, then Miquella would be projecting himself there in the aftermath of the battle. Because, again, we see that Trina, you know, Miquella's other alter ego... Trina's going around and doing stuff, seemingly after the Battle of Caelid and things. So if Trina's appearing to people, then Miquella should be somehow, some way appearing to people. So, like, I don't think it's necessarily, like, Miquella's with Melania at any point during the battle. I think it really much is. Like, Miquella's in the Halig Tree or whatever, doing his thing. Melania goes off to kill Radahn for Miquella's big plan of, you know, having Radahn, you know, soul reincarnate in a new body or whatever, right? Moog kidnaps him. And then, you know, while, like, you know, Moog is trying to get in contact with Miquella, as we see, like, he's constantly trying to get Miquella to respond or whatever, Miquella goes into his, like, dormant state thing, where he's, like, going around as Trina or as himself, you know, recruiting people for his plans. Yeah, I would agree. It depends on how exactly he's showing himself to Freya and others in order to recruit them, for sure. Because, we see how easy it is to create, like, projections of yourself, like with Moog and with Morgott and Margit, right? So, there isn't really anything that I think would stop Miquella significantly, that wouldn't have stopped other characters that we see are able to, you know, project themselves across far distances just fine, so... More question about timeline. What about relationships Mesmer had with Rolana, Gaius, and Radahn? Does it mean the purge happened after Lyrian Wars? No, because like I said, it's made very clear that it's made abundantly clear that one, Mesmer's stuff is all associated with the Crucible era stuff. Because again, all Crucible era incantations and things have this as their sigil that appears, right? So this is like the standard Erdtree. It's like the standard generic Erdtree sigil. It's pretty basic, but it mainly starts seeing use for later events and stuff. This is only we ever see this used for the Omen twins when they get thrown into the jail. Their seals use this sigil. So this pretty much tells us, okay, so this is just this, but obviously both overgrowing and also, well, I should say overgrowing and also decaying, right? Like no leaves and stuff here. This is the sigil that is associated with the Age of Plenty and related stuff. Like this is the first, everything related with Marika's and Godfrey's early reigns are associated with this, and that's what all of Mesmer's stuff is. Even after the Elden Ring gets shattered, which would be firmly after this sigil falls out of use and everything becomes this sigil, when the Mesmer and his cohorts are creating their Wrath of the, what is it? The Wrath of the Gods, where they call it, like, Projecting Force or whatever. I forget what it's called. But whenever they're doing their version of the Wrath of the Gods spell, that's like Emit Force from Dark Souls, they're using this sigil, not the modern one that would be used with that, with the Elden Ring Shattering era. So, it's very obvious that they're kind of, that's sort of the time capsule to tell us that, okay, everything's being used here. Now, the reason why I put the Purge in this column is because, again, this thing doesn't get used until the Omen incident, which is what I would put first on here. But, like, now I'm just fine with kind of using it to kind of show this general, you know, decline period. after the Sealing of Destined Death. I'm interested in why the Black Knights with the hammer have Goldbreaker attacks. Again, I have to look into the Knights because I don't know enough about them or what their attacks are. Wait, I had, oh wow, I had echoes that this guy has. Okay, whoopsie. Oh, whoopsie. Oh no, I'm gonna die. Thank you. Anyway, and then question on the timeline when it comes to R'hllana, Gaius, and Radon then. Okay, so we know that Mesmer stuff happens during the Crucible era, more or less, right? In this case, it would be at the tail end of the Crucible era, when the Crucible era is starting to, you know, disappear. But it's still during the Crucible era, essentially, right? The Age of Plenty. Then we have stuff with Gaius or whatever, which obviously, events with Gaius, Radon, and stuff. This is stuff that clearly happens much later in the timeline, but they show up. Redbane show up, like, a lot of stuff that tells us that, like, yeah, okay, people are able to get into the Realm of Shadow even afterward. So, it's not anything crazy where it's like, okay, you know, once Mesmer goes into the Realm of Shadow, that's it. No one else can enter until Mikola and his posse and us decide we're gonna enter, right? They can do the same kind of AoE smash attacks with their hammer that Radigan does, basically. The best justification I would think about that is because that's such a generic kind of attack, right? That you, that's not what I wanted. It's such a generic kind of attack, I would have to assume they associate it with, like, the Crucible stuff there. Because they do all the Crucible attacks and things. That's just the idea that, okay, if they know how to, like, you know, do Crucible Night Wing type of attacks, then they can probably do, what's it called? The, like, just a golden, you know, a hammer strike using the power of the Crucible as well. That would create the golden shockwave thing. Okay, I see your point. Yeah. So, like, for example, Liurnian War happens pretty late, Saint Meme, right? So you see in the timeline, I believe Liurnian War is one of the first events, and I talk about this with the America Researching Order and things, which, again, I'd probably have to move this to before Mesmer's Purge as well with the Minor Erdtree Church and stuff, but again, that's not a big deal. So the point gets across here is that America and stuff is doing her research into Order, and then she decides she's going to war with Liurnia and stuff after having a prolonged alliance thing, because very early in her period, during this Altus Plateau unification period, she's establishing the Stormvale Penal Colony and takes all the banished knights and people who were there on the plateau in control of those forts and things, and moving them all the way through Liurnia down onto Storm Hill, right? And that required, and in order to keep that penal colony alive and supplied and stuff, and having a highway built around and stuff, and having that bridge to the academy that we see from Bellum Highway and things, which also has all the marks of America's, you know, people and culture and stuff, all that requires diplomacy. So there was already, like, diplomatic exchanges happening during the Age of Plenty, even though obviously things were not, like, you know, they're all buddy-buddy as integrated as they are post-Liurnian Wars with Radigan and R'hllana's marriage. But it does explain how R'hllana could be at Leyndell to learn about Mesmer, who's being, you know, kind of kept on the down low by America and stuff. And therefore, when Mesmer goes off purging, R'hllana can then be like, hey, can I go in there and join him too? Okay, and then she goes over, and Mesmer doesn't know who she is, doesn't trust her or anything. It's like, okay, you gotta prove yourself to the Erdtree by doing the ceremonial duels. That was, again, such a common thing during the Age of Plenty stuff with, well, specifically, well, the Age of Godfrey in general, right, with the arenas and things. So all that is to say that there is, there's plenty of flexibility with the Realm of Shadow, that we're not going to have any timeline issues, just because stuff with Mesmer happens earlier, and then people from potentially later points in the timeline are going to happen. In the case of R'hllana, she's not from a later point in the timeline either. Which is why there's so much with R'hllana associated with like, really early Liurnia and stuff. Because, again, R'hllana and Marika rise to power as queens around the same time. Now, because of the new stuff with the dragons that we learned, with the wyverns and things and all that, It's possible that Rennala rises to power first, and the stuff we see with the Caria Manor and all that is not coinciding exactly with the Altus unification happening under Marika and stuff. Because now there's the potential motivation that rather than Marika pushing some people out and them trying to take over Liurnian land for themselves, that maybe they just want to hunt the dragons. And because of, as we learn, Rennala makes a pact with dragons and stuff, that maybe this was her sort of like politically finagling, where it's like, okay, I'm going to ally with the dragons. You know, all the academy's freaking out because all these knights and people are coming in and trying to take over so they can do their dragon hunting thing with the communions and stuff. I could definitely see you making an argument that right before Marika starts taking over stuff on the farm colonies on the plateau, that the that Rennala was already dealing with them, you know, like right then and there. And then when Marika takes over and stuff, then it's like, you know, it's the same as I've said before, and I detail in my Altus Unification War. Yep, same stuff with covered and things, huh? Now, if I recall correctly, I think it's here, right? This is where we switch between characters. Yeah, like I said, I'm very surprised. A lot of what I've already analyzed has ended up being like very consistent and carried over into the DLC. Most of the changes is going to be like reasoning and stuff, like reasons why things happen potentially, right? Like I said the same thing. Now there's a justification that the reason why the farm colonies get established on the plateau is again because they're interested in going around hunting dragons and stuff because the whole Bale stuff. So it's a lot more to think about. Imagine if London was Yarnum. It already is. What are you talking about? Have you not been to London? No. Oh no, I was right. Okay. Right, because it's... Okay. Yeah, let's just go to the chapel, I guess. I'll be honest, I miss my Hypogean jail lantern so much. That's the only problem with Yahar'gul. Make you have to get this new lantern that forces you to go across stupid old bell ringer lady. Hey Amy, how you doing? Imagine British people were real. What are you talking about? Of course they're real. Now Australians, they've never been confirmed. I still think it's a myth. I'm pretty sure Lance McDonald is just an AI created by some Russian somewhere. Same with Vati. I'm sorry to say. Vati's voice, it's way too perfect to be anything but a machine. Wait, Australian people are real? No, they're not. Of course not. Whatever make you think that Australians are real, no, bro. Okay, so it's over here in front of it. Gotcha. Excuse me. Alright, so it's literally here. Gotcha. Alright. What about American folks? Well, I'm from America. Am I real? Or am I just a figment of imagination while you go stare at the screen for too long? Who knows? There we go. Yeah, so... Oh my god. Want to be closer. Let's see. Perfect. Alright. Nah, you definitely sound like a boomer AI, Loki. Well, darn. Nobody told me. I wish I was real. Man, Xavier. I know that I paid all those Russians for a bot farm, so that way I could feel like I actually had people who watch these streams, but come on, man. I didn't tell them to program them to be self-aware. Oh, wait, I hit continue, didn't I? Damn it. Okay, yeah. Oy, oy, oy. No, but yeah, what's another? Yeah, most of the questions I think when it comes to timeline and stuff is how it, is where and how the Hornsent came to be between the events of the ancient civilization with Raoul and how they get in contact with Marika and stuff that leads to the whole becoming a god and stuff. Because there's also the whole question of, okay, so Marika becomes god on their tower, and then they seem to be cool with each other for, like, a while, and, like, the Hornsent are like, oh, yeah, Crucible, the greatest, but they're not part of Marika's kingdom. They're still their own thing, apparently, right? But then, like, is that why we see graveyards and stuff? Is that because it's Erdtree burial they are actually doing, right? Is it did they actually adopt Erdtree burial later on or something? Like, there are many questions I have there. I think BB on PC when is the one that I need for the evening, right? Like, well, you know, still, you know, before sundown. Yeah, okay. Perfect. There we go. So this should be similar enough, right, Jet? Okay, a little bit more, right? Because I need to hide that, and then I can get away with showing a little bit of this up top. All right. Cool, cool. There we go. Do we have that little... Oh, it's so hard. It's too hard to tell. Damn. Yeah, I think it's too much in shadow in this one, so I can't really tell. How's the other side look? It's a little there. So I think this is close enough. Yeah, I think the stone is right. I think it's as close to pixel perfect as I'm gonna get, Jet. There we go. I just think it's strange how Mesmer could be like an older brother to Radon if he's trapped in Shadowlands since Crucible era has some kind of grudge against Marika. Well, again, he's technically Radon's older brother because Radigan is Marika and Marika is the mother of both mothers / quote unquote father, and you know with Radon's case, right? It's weird to them. Plus, even if you ignore that, the fact that Radigan marries Marika and therefore now you know Radon is officially adopted as like her stepson, right? So now he gets to become a demigod by that and all that. So, yeah. I think if somebody could be able to travel there, it would be through Marika. So she just dropped Radon there for Mesmer and guys to babysit him. Well, I don't know about Radon, right? There's no evidence of Radon being in there exactly, but we do have evidence of Redmanes at least, which could indicate Radon. I'm just nothing really firm there. We do have evidence of Gaius and stuff. Now, again, it has to be understood that in the case of Gaius, the whole brother thing is is totally metaphorical. Chat, I swear, I'm not actually trying to do this, but the game just casually shows it seems to me, okay? I wasn't trying to find this. It just came to me in a dream, okay? Anyway, hey Loki, this isn't Elden Ring, I got scammed. Listen, it was Elden Ring, but then my controller died, and it was like, oh, darn. You gotta actually, plug that stuff in. Well, shit. So yeah, don't worry guys, next time I will make sure my controller is plugged in, so that way it is maximum charged. The game is basically flashing you. Yeah, essentially, right? Like, I don't try this, okay? These games just freaking, they show their brokenness to me. It's just like, it's like the equivalent of just making a girl drop her pants, okay? It just happens. I'm not trying. I'm just walking down the street, and then they're just like, whoop, gotta flip the skirt. Classic British broken assets. Anyway. Back to Saint Memes thing. Anyway, so, like, yeah, so, well, all I can say, again, I haven't done the deep dive on this, but all I can say is that it's definitely clear that, if Gaius is being talked about, like, metaphorically as being the brother because, you know, he's their sibling disciples, he and Radon, right? Along with this Gaia chick, whoever she is. If that's how they're going for it with Gaius' side, then I don't think Radon and Mesmer's relationship has to be very brotherly. They don't even have to necessarily know of each other, per se. Yeah, there's nothing really here that I can... In order for... Oh, none? There we go. They don't have to be very brotherly, I think, for that still to be accurate. Because it could be simply a thing of, hey, you have a brother. Oh, cool. I didn't know I had a brother. Or, well, I didn't know I had this brother named Radon. Tell me about him. Okay, and then they get, you know, they bond and they become friends. I think it's all you really need for Gaius and Mesmer. Because the point is supposed to be that they have something in common. Right? They have common that they're both, you know, treated as, like, terrible, corrupt, you know, evil beings, right? In the eyes of the Golden Order. And they both have Radon as a bro. So it's like they can bond over that. I got you. Yeah. No, but like I said, I think it's super cool. Like, we got the Banished Knights over, seemingly, as part of Mesmer's army. We got signs of some survivors from the Sun Capital that were potentially recruited and involved in there. Like, there's a lot of stuff where I'm like, oh, this is really neat. Like, really, really neat. Oh. Oh. Well. That's gonna be a problem. Let me remind you of the lack of Faron below settlement, Loki, bro. Why are you reminding me about this? Lol, you were Gandalf for a second. Listen. Oh, no. There we go. I think we found the perfect angle. So I just need to hide behind here and not do anything stupid. I forgot that the guy would go back to his starting position, and that starting position was all the way over there. I don't know why, but I recognize the music in the background because it's a great film. Probably one of my favorite Shinkai films. Oh my god. Alright, we have to back up a bit. To show FromSoft games are highly detailed Legos. They're highly detailed Lego sets, that's for sure. Just stack some pieces atop each other. Gotta hope it all looks good enough. I did it. Any small mistake and it falls down, yep. Face only a mother could love. Is that a bone? I can't... Oh my god, I think that's just her butt. I think her butt is just clipping. Am I crazy? I think that's skin. If that's skin, I think that's just her I think that's her leg. And that's like her butt, and that's her back. By the way, were there any alive Banished Knights in the DLC? I remember only ones in the Gaius' arena. Nope, they're all dead. It seems like the idea was, yep, they were part of Mesmer's army, but then they, like, rebelled just before you got here and Gaius took care of them. Ain't that convenient. It's one of those things where it's like, the player's always just a second too late to see, you know, X or Y thing happen. You know, that person just happened to kill that corpse on the ground right in front of them, right before you got there, right? Wait, which is a Hemwick? No, these are eye collectors. No, Brave. Very different. Yep. Ah! Damn. I got one punched. Damn! Ew. Yeah, ew. Her ass showing. What happened to shape? It's like when I tell you, chat, they suddenly just flipped their skirts on me. I don't know what to say. It's all them, okay? Not me. I'm just a harem master, okay? It's not my fault. Ladies love this old grizzled fox, you know. They love them silver fox. People spotted Loki for his eyes. Oh, yeah, they did. It's the dumpling meat part of the black dumpling. Oh. Oh, we're not getting this one. Alright, how bad were the pictures I already got? Honestly, not the worst. Not bad. I'm sorry, I'm never using that one. Too blurry on the hand. Same thing. Maybe. No. Okay. What are these faces, Lamau? Listen. When you're that old, you probably need some dentures, but you can't afford them. I'm okay with you kind of just, like, moving your teeth around in very awkward ways when someone's standing behind you, taking a secret camera shot. Okay, all's forgiven, I think, in that situation. Just gonna stick a hand up your butt. Just gonna stick a hand up your butt. This one's unnecessary. You should let her grab you and get picture mid-slice. I try to keep my character out, especially in Bloodborne, because I'll be honest, I don't have a... outside of, like, my Dark Souls pictures, where I take pictures in Dark Souls 1 and 3, and my Tarkus armor, I don't like having my character in the shot, to be honest. I'm thinking of kind of an Elden Ring, maybe just making it my Sorcerer armor character, because, you know, Scholar and shit. But I don't know, I kind of wish I was like Zuli, and I could just mod in Tarkus iron armor into every single one of these games, just so I can wear it when I take my screenshots with the character model. You know, just for consistency's sake. Oh god, That'd be perfect if the grass didn't cover our third guy. Wait, you can't open this door. What the hell am it what? And Elden Ring can't even bother to do that as my courtesy. I wonder how many times that boar has been fisted across all Bloodborne playthroughs. 50 mil, maybe? Oh, definitely a lot, that's for sure. I'm sure if I turned on online mode, I would find a lot of, you know, try-finger butthole or some shit. Right? We all know it. It's gonna happen. That could work, but I think I have to kill the dogs again, because I don't like those dogs being dead in the background, right? Yep, this grass always being... It's certainly grass. I wonder, since I am running out of stuff to do with Bloodborne screenshots, right? Although I keep finding stuff to do when it comes to Mensis, so God knows if that's going to change when I... It's like, oh, guys, we got to do, like, the 50 millionth run of this Chalice Dungeons to get some extra shots of those repeated assets. It's very important that I get the same asset, but with Loran brown and it's a little bit of sand particle effects. Oh no, we have a little bit of overgrowth here too. Interesting. Lauren isn't real, he can't hurt you. Lorraine is most certainly real. Actually, it's probably not intended to be overgrowth, honestly. I think it's just clipping then. Wait, what the... Oh, it's the pig, okay. Behold the hole. Ah, but this one... I don't know, this one feels more intentional. Because I don't think we see any, like, vines and stuff that guys... Yeah, I don't think we see many vines that just kind of casually, like, you know, raise up like that in the middle of midair. I wish Bergenborth was real. Why? Why would you want anything in Bloodborne to be real? Unironically. Ow. Not realizing my HP was that low. Look, guys. It's that area we can go to. Oh, you know what? I want to try getting a shot of the old hidden church from the way, way back, too. I can try that. Alright. I have plans. Wait. No. No, 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 no! 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 You can't do this to me! No! No! Why? I wish the doll was real. She is. Just, you know, go to your average sex shop in Japan. Like, you'll find her in the 18+ section. Actually, the whole shop is the 18+ section. Yes, yes, yes! Why? Why am I like this? Classic FromSoft taking inspiration from the British. It's gray. It's falling apart. It's full of horse shit. All we need is the rain. Where's the rain? Alright. Hey, doggos. Hey, doggo. You're gonna make me do this, huh? Alright. Made me do it. Now I gotta try to hide you. Hey, buddy. Get over here. Oh no, whatever will I do, chat? Loki, why are you doing this? You hate this game so much now! I don't, I swear! I love Bloodborne! I'm a card-carrying BB member, please! Don't doubt me! It's not my fault! It's not my fault! Why, oh, why me? Why can't this happen to other Let's Players? Why can't they just find this stuff as casually as I do? Why? Ah, darn it, the stupid bridge is in the way. Yeah, so you have to be from like Advent Plaza to get like a really clear shot. Damn. Darn. There we go, I got every angles of these guys, so I can't complain that I don't have shots for them now. Like, I swear, I'm expecting, like, I'm gonna look at a certain angle and see that we can literally see Advent Plaza through the scenes of the world. It's gonna be like, wait. You see it, chat? You see what I see? You see? Stay hydrated, chat. Oh, God. Why? Just why? Just why? Oh, wait. Okay, it doesn't affect anything back there. Okay. Ah, but we still... There we go. Oh, wait, right. I forgot about you for a second. Hey, buddy. Where the hell am I? Out. Can you get out of that little corner of yours? Oh, by the way, congrats on 1,400 subs. Oh, I hit 1,400? Well, thanks, guys. When did that happen? Holy crap. My goodness. More people who, for some reason, like to watch me be an idiot. Playing FromSoft games, among other things. Crazy. I laugh with straight for some crazy From's NPCs. What can I say? What can I say? I'm becoming Mikalash the more I play this game. Oh, damn, too early. He went at a weird angle. Yeah, that's just that's a flat 2D texture for sure. They don't even load, they're not even trying to load that stuff up there. It's like, they're like, well, he's not gonna go up the lift, so. Yeah, right, imagine watching someone falling off cliffs so his tech can recognize him. Yeah, man. Man. You know another reason I want BB on PC? So I can make everything set during this time. I would do it. You know I would, chat. I would retake every single shot. All, like, 2,000 shots I have of Bloodborne. I would retake them all. If it could be during this evening time. Hell, if I could get away with it, I would do it during the afternoon time that we see at the very start of the game. I'd do it. Okay, I have a question. Does this work? Is this actually gonna work? All about that golden hour, yeah. Man, I want to go back to Penacony. You know what? I think tomorrow's gonna be a HSR stream, chat. I need to finish up the side quests and stuff before the new patch anyway. I miss the golden hour. Anyway, enough reminiscing. Come on. Oh, yeah. Oh, well, nope. 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 Doesn't work! Those dogs, they smell ya! Look at all those paper mache background buildings, man. Man, no wonder they want to make sure that this place goes to nighttime as soon as possible. Watch him say that and he end up playing Bloodborne. Listen, listen, listen. I need at least my weekly dose of Lil Gwei on stream, okay? Bro, stop doing this to yourself, Loki. You're getting mad. No, why not? It's fine. It's just a bunch of dogs. Again, I just wish we had a BB on PC with, you know, all the benefits that would have, and, you know, being able to actually, you know, have a proper camera and things. Like, you know, it just nice. I'm not asking for too much, am I? Yeah, okay. Nothing crazy. That's why they don't release BB on PC. It's because Loki showed FromSoft how broken their game is. Now they're scared to release it because in higher quality, other people will see it too. It's all me, chat. I'm sorry. It's my fault. I shall be your sacrificial lamb. I am the reason that BB on PC is never gonna happen. Yep. I am the reason that BB on PC is never gonna happen. Jesus fucking Christ. Remember, chat, when you're playing a FromSoft game, make sure that you don't look up, don't look down, don't look left, don't look right, don't look behind you, and definitely don't look in front of you. No, that's not how the saying I coin goes, but I'm not even gonna bother remembering it properly right now. You're the reason BB on PC will flop. Oh boy. At this point, I wouldn't be surprised if Lance McDonald just does the port himself and is like, screw the, screw it. If they're not gonna do it, I will. He's already shown it can be done very easily, so. Yeah, I think we're done there. Thank God she missed. I'm gonna try to get a shot of her from the front now. It's gonna be far away and stuff, but I want to try. Man, I want OG Demon Souls on PC. That's better. I honestly question the practicality. I would love that, but I don't know. I feel like it's gonna always be on emulator type thing. Nope. Unfortunate. Yeah, just unfortunate. We're not gonna be able to get it. Alright. Yeah, if I ever do another Demon Souls Let's Play thing, it will definitely be the original on PC with emulation. 100%. I want OG Demon Souls on PS5. You know what? I want the Demon Souls remake on PC, so that I can have someone mod, so that I can play with a mod of a better art style. That's what I really want. Keep stuff like Penetrator and stuff, you know, those are cool. But like, have someone redo all the others, everything else. Make the NPCs and everything, you know, actually look like the OG. Not whatever Blue Point decided they were gonna do. I'm not gonna say it. There are so many stories to tell though about that art team. I really don't like the visuals in remake. Join the club. Oh, really? They have it on the JP PSN account? Cool. Wait. What do I have to level up? Oh, I could level up several times over. Get a little bit of that HP up. Probably take a decade, you'd think? Maybe. But I prefer that. I just want it on PC. Because I'm sure the modding team will be able to figure out how to make it work. Especially if the way that Blue Point, like, you know, ported it over or whatever, all the data and stuff, is on a engine that's easier to work with for modding. Yeah, I did see you made a JP PSN account, I am. For sure. Okay, we're all set. Where do I want to go? I'm sure let's do an Old Yarnum run. Always fun when we go through Old Yarnum. There we go. Man. It's just so disappointing, chat. It is so disappointing sometimes how Bloodborne's environmental storytelling can be, like, so great and then, like, so meh. Especially when it comes to, like, something like Old Yarnum Burning. And yes, I know exactly why. Development issues. It's always development issues. But it always truly amazes me how these development issues happen in all the games. And yet there can be such disparate effects on the final product. Like, it truly feels bizarre to me how, like, weirdly slanted it is with Bloodborne. Like, some places are, like high quality, like, picture perfect, and then others it's just like, oh my god, what were you trying to do? Then you got DS2, which we don't talk about in this household. And then you got DS1, which is also, it's not as lopsided, it just sort of has this, I would say, overall more consistency, but it's like, you know, There's like some parts that are slightly more mediocre than others. But generally, you know, it's overall like much higher quality than what we get with Bloodborne. It's just so disappointing. At least in the DLC, even though none of the buildings still look burnt, they made all the Mesmer stuff have ashes and things around there. So you're like, oh, okay, I can see how this stuff was like, you know, burnt. I get what they're... I can pretend, kinda, sorta, imagine that these stone buildings and houses actually burned down. BB and DS2 are the games that really suffered the most. Yeah, I think Namco Bandai demanding a sequel to Dark Souls was one of the weirdest decisions they made for sure. But I don't think it would have affected Bloodborne's development either. So. What's the tree doing there? It's growing, apparently. Is that actually realistic in the timeline that we have? I don't know. But why do I keep finding these stupid scenes in the world right here with very... Oh my god, why? Trying to see if there's anything new I really want, chat. And the answer is always new. You're like, man, look at all this, chat. All these burning crosses. Who the hell is burning all these crosses right now when frickin' Jura and his mates are, you know, doing their thing, protecting the place? I don't know, but they've apparently been burning for years now. It's the never-ending burning twigs. These bodies, they never finish lighting on fire. They just remain perpetually burning in eternal suffering, I guess. Yeah, you got all this stuff overgrown or whatever. Which again, if I tried to look at it in isolation, the idea that you have both Old Yarnum and Yahar Ghul both showing signs of overgrowth after their abandonment and stuff, that sounds like a good idea, but the way they do it just doesn't make sense. Damn, Melina. Cursed Godskins! Doesn't work as well, unfortunately. Cursed fiends! You have a bunch of blood fiends looking around like, ooh, me? I'm just a naked mole rat. This land's finished! More of these things. I didn't realize they stuck those things in the wall. Okay, yeah, I'm very glad I did not include them in the analysis at all. I'll take a shot of this just so I can remember in the future that I had this. Ah, yes, I love my building that just straight following through, yeah. Listen, chat. Listen. Sometimes I really hate how detailed I look into these games. Like, sometimes I wish I could, you know, memory wipe myself of these moments. Man, if they made these houses explorable, yeah, wouldn't it be crazy if you could explore places like Old Yarnum and Orlando, you know? Actually go inside instead of some like a few pre-designated buildings that are all owned by the same faction so they can reuse the same assets. Man, that'd be cool. But that's not this game or any of the games. We don't talk about BB City constructions. Yeah, we don't talk about that. Go on. You done? There's not even a fire in that one. Also, it's not even attached to the wall, I don't think. Nope. Nope, it's floating there, right in front of the window. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. It's just got weird overgrowth for no reason. We've been fooled! Hey, man. I know, this was an Elden Ring stream. But then my controller died. I was like, well, darn. I guess we're switching over to PS5 and Bloodborne now. Loki, why you make me want to mod Bloodborne? Listen, Nobre, it's not my intention, but if you do, I would appreciate it if you you somehow got it to work on PC, you know? It's a wink wink and a nudge nudge if you catch my drift. Oh! I forgot about you, bozos. Oh, damn. Not long enough range. Hey, guys, I want to go up there. Oh, no, sorry. You have to go through the... Okay, you know what? That's kind of forgivable, okay? Like, I'm willing to accept that. Like, that one's not trying. You know what? I want to fight Parl. I've decided today I want to fight Parl. Look, I'm a modder, not a miracle worker. Come on! Come on! How hard can it be? You can do it. Wait, which building is this? Oh, is this? Oh, it's the clock tower, of course. I was like, huh. It's usually the healing church facilities where they put those statues, but it's like, no, this is the clock tower. Like, right now, free cam would be so nice for specifically this. Also getting a shot of that river. That'd be cool, too. Oh, no. Oh, no. I found another seam. Darn it. Darn it! Yeah, okay. Then you got the church. Loki, stop looking around. You're right. I should stop playing this game, period. Frickin' choir. Excuse me, pardon me. Found another one! Ah! Alright. Hey, buddy. Bye, buddy. There we go. Man, look at all these smoking bonies. So all the artists supposed to have been burned, yeah? So would it make sense for vegetation to be around? It's supposed to be, there's supposed to be some time removed, though it's never clear if it's enough time removed to justify all the vegetation and overgrowth that we see now, right? Like, it's a little vague on that point. The bigger problem with the environmental storytelling is not necessarily the vegetation, though. It's all the stuff that's still burning. Because nothing should be burning here for a very long time. It doesn't make sense that you have this stuff burning like this. Like, this is just to kind of tell you, hey, guys, this place was burned, you see? And get it? We're gonna hide these enemies inside these piles of corpses that are just endlessly smoking, right? Like, none of this makes sense. This is purely just to give you vibes. Because it doesn't make sense if you actually try to put this thing on a timeline. And again, this is why I said earlier in the stream, especially when it comes to Elden Ring stuff, you have to not look at things as how they are. You have to look at them as what impression they're trying to give you. What is Miyazaki trying to communicate? And what he's going to communicate may not always make as much logical sense when you actually try to think about it seriously. Because, like, there's no way this thing should still be burning. But that's not the point of having it here. The point is not to make it make logical sense of what would be now. It's about making sure to capture the idea of what was happening then. Yeah, it gives the impression that it was burned recently. Yeah, that's the problem. And this is why I say you have to be willing. You have to be willing to make abstraction. Now, I'm thinking of coming out with a commentary post on this. I call it the Miyazaki's Playroom, essentially, theorem, right? Or it's basically this idea of, like, we have to think of the game world not as necessarily through the lens of the developers trying to immerse us in there and everything that we see is part of the reality of that setting, but more so from this sort of, like, you know, abstract, like, take a step back, you're looking at it as, like, this little playroom, where you have Miyazaki has, like, the laundry basket flipped upside down over here. He's got his little Legos over there. He's got his Lincoln logs, you know, all stacked up in this area, right? And he's using these things that obviously were designed for other stuff, but he's like, you know, the flipped over laundry basket is supposed to be a clock tower or whatever, right? Like, and he's trying to make you kind of take these assets for the game that were already pre-baked, right? And there was a limit to how much they could match up with whatever we're seeing in the final game, but he's still trying to reconstruct it to help kind of communicate that to you, right? And that's the kind of view you have to have of it, that Miyazaki's trying to tell us something with these things, but it's not necessarily meaning it's going to be a perfectly cohesive setting that we're actually going to see on the screen. What's a better boss fight, Soldier of Godric or Pinwheel? I can't do my guy Pinwheel dirty like that, even for a meme. Soldier of Godric's, you know, a more basic fight, because he's just a regular basic bitch enemy that's considered a boss fight, right? So, Pinwheel has to win that one, right? Granted, to be honest, Pinwheel dies just as quickly as Soldier of Godric, you know, so it's not really that much of a difference. Yeah, there's nothing really I want from the other Yharnam areas, because we've already covered that stuff so extensively. So let's go kill Parl. Gotcha. Hey, people. Ow! Meanie. Antel, the defector. Oh no. No. I'm not gonna comment on it. There's Yahar'gul. There's Old Yharnam. I think that's the church we came out of, if I recall correctly. Yeah, that's the area. Oh my! Well, after we cross the bridge, I don't think the other building is showing. Yeah, I don't think it's loaded. I'm pretty sure Meth's wiki has Parl and stuff already. Yeah, I think I'm never gonna get a really good shot of Parl that Meth couldn't do for me already, or it has a better one of them. Let's just do this then. Yeah, that looks good. Please comment on the floating statue in Old Yarnum. Apparently, it was that actually happened in an update. So it originally wasn't a floating statue in Old Yarnum, but then something I think like either in a 1.05 version or something, right? Like some time between the DLC and the base game's releases, they screwed something up and caused it to start floating in the sky. I don't know if it's a glitch or if like someone accidentally moved an asset for some reason and didn't realize the what didn't realize they didn't move it back. Like, you know, you think you want to make sure that you got that right, you know? Alright, so gonna wait until that. Yeah. There we go. Perfect. Alright. Yeah, it's like 4 or 5 stacked on top of each other. No, I don't think it's a placeholder, no, Bray. I think someone actually found the spot where those statues are supposed to be. Like, they're actually physically removed from their spot. They were just thrown up into the sky for whatever reason, and someone forgot to put them back down. You know, Bloodborne is my least favorite Miyazaki game thanks to Loki. My eyes just burn every time I boot up the game. Damn, I did this, chat. Why would I do this? That was too early, damn. Too early. That's insanity. No, this is Bloodborne. Bloodborne with a lighting overhaul will be perfect because all these mistakes would be hidden away. LOL. I don't know. I don't know if you can fix that with a little bit of lighting. I think if anything, they might highlight them for people. Oh. Oh. There we go. Man, convenient how there was this giant hole in the brick, you know? Damn. I kind of panicked because I couldn't figure out where the hill was facing, if I was going to be able to go under him or not, and then I was like, damn. Unfortunately, he was uphill, so I just kind of ended up hitting his hitbox. Couldn't just, like, you know, slip right under it. There's a mod, if I recall correctly, called Magnum Opus, by the way, in case you want to check it out. Makes Bloodborne, in my opinion, better than ER lighting-wise. Oh, that's cool. I don't know how I'd be able to do that with Bloodborne if it's on PS5, though. Like I said, I would really love to have this game just playing on PC. But I also like having the games as they are in their base, unmodded, when it comes to, like, their natural lighting, so... If I wasn't taking screenshots, I would probably think about it. All more floating statues if possible. They fit the aesthetic, if you say so. Damn. Damn. Here I am, trying to get Parl to fall down. I actually don't remember if Parl falls down easier at the head or the limbs. It might be the limbs. I might need to stop targeting the head for a sec. And wait until he gets knocked down. Get good looking, bro. So much skill issue. Shake my head. Yeah, yeah. I always attack the limbs. Yeah, I usually do too, but I thought the head was the one where you need to get knocked down. But then again, I remember last time it was me attacking the limbs and I got him knocked down really quickly. So yeah, probably just having a brain fart here. I'm old, okay? I'm an old, scraggly man. Oh god, yeah. Ah, damn it. Nope. That's all I wanted. Woo! Nice. Woo! Ah, damn, I thought I could dodge right after I couldn't. I'm still stuck in that animation. Oh, that was too early. Damn. I did that slightly too early. This is a fun way to close things out, though. I probably should fight Amelia Bedelia first, but level up your weapon shape. You know what? You're probably right. You're probably right. My weapon is probably really low level. I could probably upgrade it a few times. Hey, girly. I'm not here for you, thank God. There we go. How much do I need for the next one? You know, a fair bit. Nothing crazy, though. I mean, you don't matter. Let's see. Oh. There we go. 2 level ups of a weapon. That should do it. Alright. Hey, buddy. There we go. Ow. Ow. There. Oh, damn. Too early. Messing up the timing now. I had it perfect the first few rounds. Oh. Nice. Ow. Ah! I gotta do it as soon as I see him do the thing. Ah! Damn, I did it! I guess a second too late. Oh. There we go. Nice. Nice. Oh! Wait! Why didn't you let me do it? Alright. Well, whatever. Whatever. I don't know why he didn't let me get the visceral kill, but it's fine. Woo. Stop moving, you skinned alive cat! Yeah, he was just like, no, I'm going to dodge and dodge and dodge. He's like, I'm trying to run around. He's literally trying to run around in circles around me while I'm trying to run circles around him. It's a very odd experience. So what is Parl? Parl is a hunter who happened to have, he was a hunter who seemed to have been one of Archibald's fans, right? Where is it? I can't find that stupid, where's Spark Hunters? Oh, there it is. Right? So Parl was basically one of Archibald's quote-unquote friends, right? He loved Archibald's stuff. But then, Parl seems to have been one of the hunters involved in the Old Yharnam incident. And during the Old Yharnam incident, he started to turn, and it seems like, probably as an influence of using Archibald's stuff, he didn't become just any beast, he ended up becoming a dark beast, which, as we can see, use electric bolts. Right? They use lightning, essentially, right? And because of that, well, good old Parl ended up having to be killed. But because he's a dark beast, he didn't actually die. His body rotted, but he wasn't actually dead. And when we came to disturb his rest, after the doors for him were shut and stuff, and the city was burned and abandoned, he comes back from the dead, and well, you saw what happened. So that's the thing. So you have to understand, beasts are already kind of immortal, in the sense that they don't seem to have an age limit to them. As far as we can tell, we see beasts that are perfectly capable of surviving without food or drink for prolonged periods of time, right? They're basically like hollows, right? Undead and stuff, they like to eat and sleep and drink and stuff, right? But it's not necessarily strictly needed, right? Hollows survive off of souls, and they don't even need to constantly have supplies of souls. They can live off their existing souls. Same thing with beasts, basically. It seems beasts basically just live off their own internal blood, though they are, you know, bloodthirsty, so they'd love to have more all the time, right? Yeah, dang, poor Parl, right? But then, certain beasts, they achieve that certain level where they're not just immortal in the sense of being long-living, right? They can live forever, theoretically. They're immortal in the sense that, as we can see, it's really hard to kill them, right? Now, granted, because of gameplay mechanics, most dark beasts we come across die after we beat them in the boss fight, right? But as we can see with Parl and other dark beasts of Loran and stuff, it's not that easy. Sometimes, even when they end up decaying away and they're just skin and bones, that blood, that will within them is still there, and they'll just come back, they'll just stand back up again. Those bolts coursing through them are powerful indeed. They're almost unperishing then. Yes, essentially, right? It's very similar to how we see with the dragons in Dark Souls. How, oh, a dragon died. It got killed, quote unquote. Its body has decayed, right? But it's still able to then come back even though it was, quote unquote, dead, right? It comes back as a zombie, right? It's this big undead dragon, right? But this this, like, sort of, this dragon zombie is essentially still, like, demonstrating the principles of a dragon. And it's, the unperishing nature of those dragons. Even though, as we know, being everlasting doesn't have that same meaning in the world of fire, hence why, they have the zombie, death look to them. Similar idea in Bloodborne. Except in Bloodborne, there is no, like, curse or some underlying principles of being, like, an ancient fundamental creature, right? That's just the power of blood. And when you devolve into a beast, it is because of that, that innate quality in blood that has been triggered. And just the level of that, how strong that, transformation of the blood is, how much that corruption has been built up and exploded into you becoming what you are. That affects things, right? Got to go. Thanks for the stream. Yeah, we're gonna end the stream now, so see you later, Saint Meme. So is Parl now dead, or presumably he's dead. Again, we hunt the bosses, they don't come back. Now maybe you could theoretically have a Bloodborne 2 where suddenly you'll find, I don't know, Parl dead, like, I don't know, in some other country or something, right? You'll find his corpse, like the stuff we see in Dark Souls 3, right? But, kind of like the Centipede Demon in Dark Souls 3, it's like, listen, the boss is technically optional, right? Centipede Demon's a little harder to make optional, right? It's not like, it's very conditionally optional, right? But even then, the Centipede Demon has that same argument of, well, it's got a lot of life power and regeneration abilities and stuff, so maybe it was not fully dead when you killed it, right? Similar thing with, like, Gundyr or whatever. It's like, okay, yeah, we killed Gundyr, but he's, like, undead and stuff and, like, all that. So, like, I guess he wasn't dead, even though we killed him and took his soul. I guess he had enough of that still with him, right? You could maybe argue something like that with Parl. But for the time being, until there's a Bloodborne 2, as far as we can tell, he's dead. He was just skeleton bones, and then we killed those things. So I don't know what he's gonna come back as. An amoeba? Is he gonna come back as, like, petrol fuel? Oil Parl. My true American blood. Hunting the oil. Hunting down that oil. Alright, we're gonna end things here, as I said. Again, that was a great way to finish things up, I think. I got a few good shots and stuff. Like I said, I wish that I was doing this for Elden Ring, but sometimes things just work out like that, where I just don't properly charge the controller. So, like, I'm so done of seeing all these scenes in the world of my Bloodborne. We're ending things here. See you later, guys.